Hi, my name's Karen Davies, and this is the Karen Davies podcast. Welcome. So let me guess, your weekdays are on point and are dialed in. You know exactly what you're doing and when. You know what time you're getting up, what time you're getting breakfast. And it's the same for the rest of the family. You know what time you're dropping the kids off and picking them up from school. And at work, you've got all of your meetings scheduled. You have a to do list or a calendar with everything in one place. You are an organization machine. But if you're like 99% of people, then what happens at the weekend is that it all falls down. You don't have plans or everything is left to chance. You were thinking of having a lie in, and then you wake up and end up scrolling through your phone only to realize it's nearly lunchtime and you've achieved exactly nothing. Sound familiar? Hmm. This used to be me. During the week, I was on fire. I was super organized and I got a lot of work done. But then come the weekend, I would achieve nothing in terms of my personal goals. Don't get me wrong, I'd get the housework done and maybe some cooking. But outside of that, I didn't have a routine. I didn't really have a purpose on weekends. Hmm, big mistake on my part. The first time it occurred to me to plan my own time, i.e., weekends and holidays, and manage my time like the vital resource that it is, was at my first job after university. You know, the one at the dog food factory. Listen to episode 10 if you don't know what I'm talking about. Lots of fun in that one. One day at the famous dog food factory on the pig farm, once again, see episode 10, I was talking to one of the men that worked there. He's the dad of one of my school friends. He was a lovely bloke, salt of the earth sort of fella, a family man, and a very, very hard worker. So we were having a chat one day, and when I asked him what his plans were for that weekend, he told me, "Well, Karen, I'll get up around 7 a.m. on Saturday and I stopped listening to the rest of that sentence. I interrupted him. Phil, what do you mean you'll get up early on a Saturday? Why would you do that? It seemed crazy to me that you would spend all week getting up early for work and then not try to chill out on the weekend." It was then that Phil gave me one of the best lessons of my life. He said to me, "Karen, I spend all week getting up early for someone else so that they can use my time. Why wouldn't I do the same for myself? I want to be able to do things for me and make the most of my time. I don't want to waste it." This was a revelation to me. It was an absolute epiphany. Phil viewed his own time as an essential resource not to be wasted, but rather to be harnessed, planned, and used carefully to optimum effect. Wow, my mind was blown. Ever since that conversation with Phil, I've always tried to use my time carefully. For me, that's illustrated in many ways. For the first 12 years of living in Australia, I didn't own a TV. I had no TV in the house at all. I've never been a big fan of the telly, but I always know what an absolute drain it can be on my time. I don't have notifications turned on for my phone or any of the apps on it. And I also don't have notifications turned on for my computer emails. Another key aspect of managing my time on the weekends is for me learning to say no. It, it's easy to get caught up in social obligations or commitments, but if they don't align with my goals for the weekend, then I've learned that it's okay to decline. I know that my time is valuable and I have the power to choose how I spend it. It could be the difference in me achieving my goals or failing. Honestly, when I think about everything I've been able to achieve over the last few years just by using my time wisely, it's amazing. I've read hundreds of books on finance, property, personal development, leadership, engineering, and I've earned two engineering degrees. I've attended various courses that have given me new skills. I've learnt to script. I've learnt to record, edit, and publish podcasts. Hello there. I've also learned about investing in shares and how to build a share portfolio. Everything I've learned, I've applied. I taught myself how to do conveyancing when I purchased my property. I've built businesses, I've networked, I've met new friends, I've gained new hobbies, including meditation, ice baths, breathing techniques. The list is endless. I'm a normal 40 something lass. If I can do it, you can too. So, how do you go about creating a weekend with purpose? Here are my top tips. Number one, remove obstacles. Ha, I bet you thought I was going to say make a plan. Nope, that's tip number two. Tip number one is all about setting yourself up for success. For me, a satisfying and productive weekend will involve cleaning and tidying my house on a Friday afternoon or evening. I know, party animal. So that I'm ready to go on Saturday morning. So, this is also a sneaky trick to prevent me from procrastinating. During the rest of the weekend, you see, I love to clean and tidy, and I often tell myself that I'll start whatever essential task I need to do after I've done the 3 hours of housework. Hmm. So remember, I want to set myself up for a productive and purposeful weekend. And for me, that means getting essential chores and distractions out of the way. Ask yourself what could distract you and then try to get it covered off before Saturday morning rolls around. Once you know what your potential obstacles are, you can tackle them in advance. This is a key skill in and of itself. Essentially, we're doing something called objection handling for ourselves. What is objection handling, Karen? Well, once upon a time, I was a holiday rep in Greece. I have some great stories, but this probably isn't the time or place to share them. Anyway, part of the training that I received, which incidentally was some of the best training, sales training I've ever had in my life. It did include sales, and part of the sales training was something called objection handling. If this is new to you, you're about to learn some magic. So basically, we would write out all the possible objections someone would have or might have to not purchasing the product or service we were selling. In this case, it would be an excursion or some sort, say a booze cruise. Possible objections from our holidaymakers ranged from I can't swim to I don't drink alcohol. And once we'd written a near exhaustive list of all the possible objections, we then had to come up with legitimate solutions. So you couldn't lie, you couldn't make things up. You had to have a genuine workable solution to that objection. So, for example, if someone couldn't swim, then we'd give them a life jacket and they could still come along and have fun with their mates and feel safe. If someone didn't drink alcohol, we explained that all the soft drinks on the cruise were free. And there were at least two reps on the boat who also didn't drink, which was once again true. Plus, we all know you don't need booze to have a good time. Thank you very much. There's nothing like sunbathing on a boat in the middle of the Ionian Sea in summer. Love it. So, this is what you're going to do for yourself. No, not write a list of reasons why you need to go on a booze cruise. That is not what I'm asking you to do. Thank you very much. I want you to write down all the obstacles that could come up to stop you focusing on what you need to do on the weekend. Okay. So for me, that's distractions like cleaning the house, food shopping, catching up with mates, social media, etc., etc. Then I want you to think of practical, real life solutions to mitigate against these potential showstoppers. So, for my examples, I'd get the housework done on Friday night. I'll put my food shopping order in during the week and I get it delivered on Friday afternoon or Friday evening. I'd plan my catch ups with mates on the weeknights. That way, we don't stay out too late, but we still get to have fun. In terms of social media, I never have my notifications on. And if I want to concentrate on something, then I put my phone switched off in another room and it stays there while I get what I need to do done. So go ahead and write down your objection solutions and objection handle yourself. Tip number 2 is all about setting your intention for the weekend. Before the weekend begins, take some time to really think about what you want to achieve. It can be absolutely anything from getting some work done on your own side hustle to writing a report or reading a book. It's up to you. It can be anything. Number 3, once you've done that, then tip number 3 is to create a schedule. Okay, that means making a plan for your weekend by breaking down your goals into manageable tasks and scheduling time blocks for each one. You can do this however you want, okay? So in your head, on a piece of paper, on a post-it note, or my personal favorite, in an Excel spreadsheet. Yes, I know, I'm a massive geek. I don't care. It's funny because I'm a lady of extremes. Some weekends I have a color-coded spreadsheet split into 30-minute increments, and others I have a plan in my head of what I want to achieve. The important thing is to do what works for you. So if it's in your head and you know you'll forget it and you won't do it, then try writing it down. Other things that are important to remember for your weekends include 4, taking time to rest. It's important to include downtime in your schedule to relax, recharge, and avoid burnout. Number 5, prioritizing self care. Whether it's getting enough sleep, eating well, or exercising, taking care of yourself will help you to feel refreshed and energized. And that's important. Tip number 6, disconnecting from technology. Take a break from your phone, your computer, your TV. Be present in the moment and fully engage in whatever activities you're doing at that time. Number 7 is all about spending time with loved ones. Spending quality time with family and friends can be both enjoyable and fulfilling. And finally, tip number 8, reflect on your weekend. Take some time to reflect on what you achieved, what you learned, and how you can continue to grow and improve in the future. This is just a quick example of what you can achieve with your weekends when you create for yourself a purposeful weekend. As always, let me know how you go. I genuinely love hearing from you on social media. I've had a few of you DM me now on Instagram at Karen Davies Coaching, and I always try to respond to each and every one. Thanks a lot.
If you enjoy listening to this podcast, come and check out my website, karendaviescoaching.com. There's plenty of resources, tips and downloads, as well as the opportunity to work with me.